Good morning and welcome to the Now Streaming Show, reaching you live from ACNNTV here in the nation's capital. We apologize for starting behind schedule and we are excited to have you join us today. I am your uncle, Somtochikul Okizo, and this morning, Nigerians political scene is shaking again. Talks of coalitions and political alliances are heating up, with opposition parties holding closed door meetings. Some say it's a major comeback in the making. Others call it another round of political drama. Is this the dawn of a new political era, or just the same old game of power, with opposition parties holding secret meetings and some influential politicians openly calling for a united front ahead of the next elections? The drama is thick, and beyond the headlines, many Nigerians are wondering, will these coalitions focus on real issues like inflation, hunger, insecurity, and the daily struggles of ordinary Nigerians, or is it just another scramble for power? However, while politicians are busy strategizing for power, everyday Nigerians continue to battle inflation, insecurity, and fuel hikes. Plus, another storm is brewing in the education sector. Yes, you guessed it. ASU is back in the headlines. University lecturers are threatening fresh strikes over unpaid salaries and unmet agreements. The same circle, students at home, parents frustrated, and the future of Nigerian youths hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, our cities keep swelling, urbanization is at full speed, and the population explosion is creating more tension in an already stretched economy. People are rushing in daily from villages and smaller towns, searching for jobs, survivals, and hope, and Nigerians' growing population crisis. Today on Now Streaming, we ask the hard questions. Is Nigeria truly ready for the political storm, the population explosion, and the looming ASU strike? Or are we heading for another national shutdown? There are very special guests in the house with me who will be doing justice to the trending topics before us. And they are Comrade Ifeanyi Uzochukwu, the Labour Party chairman, AMAC and chairman of Council Chairman's Forum, Labour Party FCT, and Mr. Oni Umejiburu, a political and public policy strategist. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you, Mr. Ifeanyi, and thank you, Mr. Oni. Thank you so much. Viewers, please remember to engage us during the show by calling in the numbers displayed on your screen or sharing your thoughts through any of our social media platforms. You could also share this live stream with friends and family. But quickly, let's take a look at some of the major headlines from Nigerian dailies that just came in. And we'll be beginning with the Guardian newspaper this morning. And on the Guardian, we have NDDC commit to improved mandate delivery. This we can find on page 29 on the Guardian newspaper. And also we have opposition unity at risk as ADC leadership faces legal hurdle and collapse warnings. This we can find on page 6 on the Guardian. Just below that, we have court jails 9 Chinese nationals over Ponzi terrorism skills in Lagos. This we can find on page 5. And also, just beside that, we have a story that says palace guards injured, police vehicles vandalized as hoodlums attacks Sanusi's palace. These we can find on page 20. And lastly, what we have to take on the Guardian newspaper, Tinubu insists fuel subsidy unsustainable and benefits only the rich citizens. Also, we just take a quick look at the Punch newspaper this morning. Also, above the kickers there, we have firestorm as APC coalition battle for northern ADC leaders. These we can find on page 2 on the Punch newspaper. And just beside that, we have the Ladoja next in line as tributes flow for late Olubadan. This we can find on page 27 on the Punch newspaper. Also, Nigeria reform push yet to reach masses. This is coming from the IMF, and we can find that on page 29. And then the major story we have on the Punch newspaper: 20 states at risk despite 620 billion naira intervention. And this is concerning the flood, and the forecast is for Lagos, Edo, Benue, and 17 others in this month of July. This is more or less like a warning to those living in such areas. And below the picture story there, we have U.S. Embassy begins screening Nigerian students' social media accounts. These we can find on page 27. Also, we have ASU branches suspend lectures over delayed June salaries. This we can find on page 24 on the Punch newspaper. And lastly, on the Punch, we have Senate braces for shutdown as Natasha plans return today. This we can find on page 27 on the Punch newspaper. And lastly, we have the Vanguard newspaper before us this morning also. And above the headlines, we have no rift between Buhari and Tinubu. This is coming from Garba Shehu, and this we can find on page 10 on the Vanguard newspaper. And also we have something on the Emirship tussle. Police launch investigation as supporters of Sanusi and Bayero clash in Kanu. This we can find on page 50 on the Vanguard newspaper. Also, we have Tinubu, Makinde, Sultan. Others mourn as Olubadan Oba Olakunlehin dies at 90. This we can find on page 7 on the Vanguard newspaper. And just the major story we have still on the coalition 2027 presidency plotting to destabilize us. This is coming from ADC. That we can find on page 5 on the Vanguard newspaper. Also, Keyamo, the Minister of Aviation, inaugurates Enugu Air. This we can find on page 9 on the Vanguard newspaper. And also coming from the NDDC at 25, Tinubu has funded commission more than previous government. This is coming from Ogubukun. This we can find on page 49. And also, Nigeria exports drive in danger as Trump plans an extra 10% tariff against BRICS. This we can find on page 8 on the Vanguard newspaper. And on insecurity, we have forest guards can't fight AK-47 wielding terrorists with Dane guns. This we can have on 49. And lastly, we have the flood destroys 500 houses in Kogi community. And this is all we have for us this morning on the Vanguard newspaper. We encourage you to also get a paper and also read some of these major stories and get informed with the recent happenings we have here in Nigeria. And coming to us in the studio, I would want to begin with Mr. Ifeanyi, who happens to be the chairman of Labour Party and AMAC chairman of Area Council Chairman Forum here in FCT, to just make a comment on the recent happenings concerning this coalition and saying the frontrunner of the Labour Party in the last concluded general election, the person of Mr. Peter Obi, having defected but still a member of your party, but claims to want to run with the ADC coming 2027. Can you please throw some clarity on that for us?
Thank you so much for having me this morning. I would say politics is a game of interest. Um, Let me go back by saying P2B is a wonderful person. In fact, he is a force to be reckoned with in today's Nigeria political scene. I also want to say that his alliance did not start with ADC. There are squabbles in political parties, Labour Party inclusive. And I believe the best way to go about dealing with differences in a political party, especially when you are a critical stakeholder, is to stay and deal with the problem. I don't want to take a jab at P2B because he garners so much force that people don't even see wrong about him. He has been in ABGA, he has been in PDP, today he's in Labour, and he's somewhere headed. I'm not sure P2B has said that he has left the Labour Party, but I know he has interest perhaps to run in ADC. And why his choice of ADC? People will say because he had the problem with the leadership of the Labour Party. Abure has issues with P2B. Abure is a sit-tight leader, and so on. And so, because he doesn't want to give P2B a chance for P2B to plant who he wants to be the national chairman. So, okay, is it not better for P2B to leave the party for him? And what make up this coalition of strange bedfellows? What track record does El Rufai have? You know, I believe that they coming in supposing if he decides that he's going to pitch his tent with ADC, is that going to make El Rufai a better person? Would that make Amechi a better person? Would that make David Mark, who served the Senate as Senate President, who served as Senate President for 8 years, yet the reform that they could not make at that time, which brought bettered APC, okay, does that now make him a saint? And I will tell you that P2B has a stronger voice to make difference in Labour Party than in ADC. Yes, because he can challenge Abure, he can challenge the structures of Labour Party, which is what people are talking about, has been in the news for a long time. Who is he going to challenge in ADC? Will he challenge Atiku, who has been a 2-time vice president and has had a lot of political experience? Is it El Rufai, who has served as minister and a 2-term governor, just like P2B? Is it Amechi is going to challenge? I wish them well, because for me, I joined Labour Party about 8 years ago. It was not because of P2B I joined Labour Party. And so those who want to, of course, you know that some people, when this crisis in Labour Party started, Oti was the first person that took a jab at Labour Party by using the Zenith Labour Party to conduct his area council, local government elections, and almost all the political positions at the local government level, they are under Zenith Labour Party. And some people thought that was where P2B was going to. Many people drove into Zenith Labour Party. I'm talking from experience of what even happened in FCT here. And then the CTC chairman, caretaker committee, which they formed for themselves, Nana De Usman, went with El Rufai to SDP. People thought that, okay, probably that is the new direction. Some people resigned from Labour Party and went to SDP. Unfortunately, that was not where P2B is headed. Today it is ADC. We will live to see. I pray God to keep all of us alive. But one thing I want to say is that there is no man who is a saint except Jesus. And so when we want to play saint and then we want to make an individual so powerful that he doesn't have any fault and whatever he says is correct, I wish everybody well. But for me, why I am in Labour Party and I will continue to be in Labour Party is because I want to have a window where I can make change.
But just a follow-up question. I'm sure you have something to say.
No, comrade, this was not our conversation the last time we were.
No, there's no problem. Let him learn. We will discuss.
Give your thoughts on this.
Yeah,
comrade,
yes.
You made us believe in this studio that Peter was the previous idea for good governance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Labour Party. But now you're beginning to make it look like it's about Labour Party, no longer Peter Obi.
No, what I'm saying in essence is that Peter Obi is an individual.
Okay.
Peter Obi's campaign,
Yes.
for which it was as if Nigerians worshipped him,
Yes.
was that his idea of leadership is that he wants us to build strong institutions and not strong individuals. Now people are seeing Abure as the person who is trying to make himself a strong individual, and then the Peter Obi, who has not been able to build Abga when he was in Abga. We are talking about, because now people say that it is Peter Obi, and that is the truth. Peter Obi is what gave Labour Party the popularity it had in 2020. In fact, from 2022 up to today. It is not. There is no gainsaying about that. But the truth is that when you have this individual who is now the reason, because if you are talking about that Labour Party is shaky today, if Peter Obi says I stand with Abure, I can tell you that all these bullets and so on and arrows going up left, right, and center will cease. No.
For Labour Party
No. Let me tell you, Peter Obi just joined Labour Party. How old is Peter Obi in Labour Party? See, let me tell you. You and I don't know your church.
Okay.
Anglican Church is an organized church. Yeah. It has a structure. Now, somebody suddenly joined the Anglican Church. Probably, yes. Probably a wonderful evangelist.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Who is making waves in Anglican Church across Nigeria.
Yes.
And then the person decides that he doesn't want the primate of Nigeria because he feels that he has a better candidate that can serve as the primate of Nigeria. Do you think he has the wherewithal to remove that leadership? No. Because let me tell you, Anglican Church has a constitution. I hope you are aware.
Yeah.
So is Labour Party. As far as Labour Party constitution is concerned, I have the Labour Party constitution 2009, 2014, 2019.
Amended.
Yes, that is.
Reviewed and amended.
No, okay, let me say 2009, 2014 as amended, 2019 as amended, 2024 as amended. There is no place in Labour Party constitution that gives a former presidential candidate.
Okay.
Any
ticket.
Not express ticket. Any constitutional backing to be the one to decide what happens in Labour Party. In fact, as far as I need you people to understand it very well, because Labour Party operates a constitution, and so any other organization has a constitution it operates with. That we give Peter Obi all the support and all the reverence and honor does not give him the right, and does not give him that privilege to change leadership of the Labour Party.
We understand what you are saying. We understand the fact.
Because we are also affected. You know, when I get mad.
You and I will discuss this after this. This was not what you said the last time.
No. I can tell you, because some of the things that His Excellency Peter Obi talked about are the contrary things. He said he's not desperate to be the president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk so much about it. So it doesn't look as if I'm attacking him, but I can tell you that the coalition we are talking about is a coalition of strange bedfellows who have their interest. As much as Peter Obi wants to be the president of Nigeria, I can tell you that there are so many people in that coalition who also want that ticket in 2026, and you will get to find out.
We will get to that, but just a quick follow-up question.
Yes, please.
To what you have said.
Please go ahead.
We understand the fact that Peter Obi cannot be stronger than the institution itself, but one of the major reasons why he defected into the ADC.
He has not defected.
I know we know he's still a member of the Labour Party, but he's in the coalition. Yeah, we understand
he's in the coalition, but he has not defected from Labour Party. Because as we speak now, Anambra State governorship campaign is going to kick off, and he's going to be in that. He's going to be in that this campaign.
Yeah, I understand.
For the flag off.
I understand what you are saying. All I am saying is, it is simply because the House, which is Labour Party, was not in order. And we feel like it's been infiltrated by external forces, and that is
who are the external forces that infiltrated.
Hold on, sir. And that hold on,
because I've been
there. Hold on, your house, the House Labour Party, for a long time now has been in shambles. We discovered that there were two fractions. One was the P2B fraction, and the other was the Abure fraction.
P2B doesn't have a faction.
No, he had, because he was beginning to call some stakeholders meeting, which was even held at some point in Abuja. So hold on, sir.
P2B is not the one who is.
I understand. All I am simply trying to say is, how strong is the Labour Party now to even want to compete for this forthcoming election, seeing the disunity in the House at the moment?
Thank you for this question. And I want to tell you that before an organization, an institution, a body or whatever, before it gets its strength, sometimes, in fact, it is in the midst of troubles that you begin to put things in place. Without the trouble, we will not come out better. I can tell you, anybody who tells you that P2B's effect is not affecting Labour Party, the person is lying. You understand?
Yeah.
The person is lying, because P2B is loved by a lot of Nigerians.
Yeah.
But if P2B is one who professes and speaks about building institution, he should be able to stay in Labour Party after moving from ABGA to PDP and now Labour Party. Let him stay one place, have focus, and then build that institution. See, let me tell you, I am able to make changes.
The question I asked now is, are you guys fit to run or compete? It's just a question of yes or no.
100%.
All right, I'm coming to you, Mr. Ifan. Just your comment. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Onyi, please give me your comment on this.
You're baptizing him with my name.
What do you have to say about it?
Nothing.
You don't have anything to say. Okay. Now let's talk about the coalition that is ongoing right now at the moment. Okay. Do you really think at this point that the presidential P2B, which was a one-time presidential candidate, is actually making the right move to probably form this coalition, because we are to probably join this coalition, because rumors are even having it at this point now the presidency are trying to find a way to infiltrate into this then destabilize it.
Politics is a game.
Yes.
Everybody will keep playing from his own quarters.
Yeah.
Peter will fire from his cannons. Atiku will fire. Amechi will fire. President Tinubu will fire. I may even fire in 2027. You don't know if I'm contesting for president. So it's just politics. It's a game. Everybody is doing his own. So it's about who defeats who in the field or in the gimmicks. That's all. There's no big deal about anything that is.
I agree with him.
Coalition happens every election.
Yeah.
I hope you know. In every election from 1999, there's always a coalition. People who are not happy will always gather.
But do you think this coalition has what it takes?
You never can tell. We can't stay today and tell, because who will be the leader of the coalition? The problem is not about the coalition. The problem is, let the coalition not have a coalition. Internal implosion.
Very correct.
Just like how it's saying the presidency wants to infiltrate.
It is politics.
It's politics.
APC today was an arrangement of coalition.
Yeah.
In APC, we had CPC, ACN, even some part of
AMPP, yes.
NNP. A lot of people came together. Not Rotimi.
Imo State former yes.
They came together and formed the APC now. So it's not so bad. I mean, it's politics. If they can pull it through, perfect. If they cannot, still perfect. It's politics.
So, as in concerned Nigeria as a citizen, what can
it is politics. It's the same politician. Is there anybody in ADC that was not in PDP or in ACN?
So, are you simply saying that they are all the same?
These are just the same wine in different bottles.
Okay.
They are the same people. Is there anybody new that you've seen in the ADC or in APC?
No, nobody is new. But do you really think they have the interest?
They are the same.
That's what we are saying. That all the same.
PDP, APC, NNPP, Labour Party, ADC, all of them are the same Nigerian politics. ABGA, they are the same.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
So, do you think they have what it takes to actually bring
that is what he's saying. It has to the test of time will.
All right.
You can sit down now and know that they have what it takes until they fire their and they bring out their candidates. I will see now.
And I also want to say something that Nigerians should be very mindful of. Tinubu is not a new person in politics.
Comrade, you
no. I'm coming. No, I'm coming. Yes.
You are going there and uncle that is not normally your angle.
I know what I'm saying.
Okay, comrade.
Now, there is a possibility that President Tinubu also has his men in ADC. They are the ones who will be making up some of these stories to make it look as if that the ADC is so strong and presidency is feeling threatened. They will be the ones. The problem with us is that sometimes we just read the headlines, we read the stories as they want us to believe, make believe. But I can tell you that there is a possibility that even the president has his men who are also in that coalition. And just like he said, I hope you will not retract what he said, that with the test of time, we will know how strong ADC is.
All right, we have a comment from a viewer. He said, obviously, Comrade Ifeanyi has been bought over.
Thank you, my brother.
This is so
we are used to it.
This is actually a comment we have from
our
our
is my
viewer.
good friend. But since we started today, I marvel. That's it. Comrade Ifeanyi, what's going on?
All right.
But that is the same politics.
Yes, he's a politician.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
so-
the interest is what is there.
Yeah.
Comrade,
That is not true.
All right.
That is not true. Because
Thank
I want to say something.
You know that time when you were on this
let's
other side,
let
your
him
voice-
talk so we can
No,
move
no,
into
no.
the next
You
thing.
know when you are on this other side, your
Yeah.
voice is always high. But now you are on this side, you are now calm.
No, let me tell you.
Okay, tell me,
I have even in the last my last appearance here in ACNN. I talked. There were a lot of things people were saying were the achievements of the president, because probably people will think that I've been. But see, Labour Party is my house.
Okay.
It's the same thing. The analogy I used Anglican Church to present, an Orthodox Church which has a structure, a constitution, and a system. You cannot. Let me tell. Even members of the church will fight against whoever it is that wants, because he's a revivalist, he's a wonderful evangelist, wants to take over or determine who becomes the primate of Nigeria. Okay. So I am a concerned person. I'm a leader in Labour Party. Noted. I have been in Labour Party because I wanted opportunity. I started as an ordinary member. I became a ward chairman. Today I contested the election. And today I'm the area council chairman.
Yes.
And also leading 5 other area council chairmen in FCT.
Comrade,
so I understand the game.
So much,
when it is not in other people's favor, they see others as bottovers.
It's politics.
We are used to it.
It's politics. Thank you so much, sir.
We are used to it.
Just onto the shows of education this morning. We are hearing of the strikes that is about to go on, indefinite strike, and putting Nigerian university students at home. This is not something that it's new in Nigeria. It's something that occurs frequently and regularly, and now again it's on our door knocking. So I really want to throw this question to you, Mr. Onye. What is your take on this?
Well, I think the education sector of Nigeria needs a total
overhaul,
management, restructuring. They need an overhaul. The salary structure of lecturers is nothing to write home about. The take-home package, their remuneration is very little. The quality of education output now is very poor. That's why we are not having That's why we are not having a lot of new ideas. Our research process is very poor in Nigerian universities now.
Poorly funded as well.
Thank you very much. So I think there should be a general. The president needs to sit down with these guys and they have a rearrangement of this whole system. The way they run universities now is very, very wrong. Absolutely wrong. Lecturers shouldn't be complaining if universities are doing what they ought to do. I'll give you an instance. You come to a university that has Department of Architecture, and they've never drawn any building inside the university or for the university. Talk more of service. Do you know that the university is supposed to service the community?
Yeah.
If they service the community, do you know the university can actually fund itself? But everybody is waiting for federal government to bring money. Let us share in the universities. Bring money. Let us share. Sometimes when federal government is not able to meet up with that, that's why having all this strike. Some of these lecturers have not done any research on their own in the last 10 years. So is it just about the money that is paid to them or no productivity? Look, I had a lecturer who used one lecture note for close to 20 years.
Good.
What kind of nonsense is that?
I had that experience as well.
So they are teaching me something that they taught in 1995. That's not fair now.
Yours is recent.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mine was a lecture note of 80.
So you can imagine, because they are not coming up new. So I think it's not about paying them money to stop strike today and tomorrow they come up again that they need money, and the government needs to sit down and restructure the arrangement of what universities should be. So many universities are overemployed, so many are underemployed. They need to balance all those things. Do you get what I'm saying? There should be a way of making these lecturers actually to truly be active. Then they should review their salaries. What they are taking home is nonsense. They should think about their housing. Before now, universities used to have staff quarters that people can live in till they retire. We are no longer building such university communities now. We have not. Students are now living off campus and living their life the way they want. So it's not just about today and strike of 1 week or 2 weeks. They need a holistic solution to all these come and go, better than all these quick fix arrangements for the education sector, I think.
Thank you so much. Viewers, please remember you can always call in and send in your comment. Would love it to be a part of the show. And coming to you, Comedifying, sometime last month there were a move to see if universities could get their autonomy and run themselves on their own in order to avoid things like ASU and all of that. Do you really think that should now be reviewed, or it should be visible at this moment?
Before I go into that, I want to just, in addition to what Mr. Onyi said, have you ever thought about what the priority of this government is? You know, government's priority needs to be very visible, that people don't need to begin to think to know, okay, is it this one or the other one? For today, what most Nigerians will say about today's government is that they are just about revenue generation and waste stage. Because when you hear how much is spent on something, you are just like, is it really the what? So coming back to your question, the autonomy, it has to do with individual university system. Those who can run, because the truth about it is that it is possible that there are some universities that can self-fund themselves. Yeah. They can generate the, revenue and so on. But there are those that once government withdraw, that does not mean that they shouldn't be government support. Even in outside abroad, there are universities that even research are being funded by very wealthy individuals. Somebody like Dangote.
Endowment.
Yes. Somebody like Dangote can say, okay, I'm giving maybe 1 billion naira for a research on the particular project and so on. Sometimes those are the things that helps to fund not only universities but also departments or in universities. So university autonomy you cannot say the whole and because when it becomes autonomous, it will also become expensive. The common man will not be able to afford it.
But come to think of it, using private universities, for example, you discover that they always do have stable form of education. You barely hear their lecturers going on strike, and you discover that people that are meant to have a course of 7 years, at that 7 years are graduating. But in the case of ASU, someone that probably wants to read a course of 4 years ends up reading it 7 years, 8 years. Is that not a waste of someone's time?
What you need to understand is that government cannot abdicate or withdraw itself from its responsibility.
Okay.
Anywhere in the world, there are schools that are private. There are also the ones that are run by government. In fact, the government schools are supposed to be cheap and should be able to give equivalent, if not higher, standard of education than even the private, because government has all the resources. In some other countries, I don't know of the states in Nigeria, there are some places that primary school, from primary to secondary school level, is free. Which government in Nigeria is doing that? There are some things that government does just withdraw itself. For the primary and secondary school, which is free, government funds, pays the salary, provides books and so on to give this level of this age grade that stability educationally, academically, you understand, before you can now start. So when they are able to go through the primary and secondary schools being funded by government, it is now they can decide now to go into skill acquisition and so on. It mustn't be a university education. How many university graduates are employed in Nigeria? Yeah. So it's not just about turning out graduates. Is it NMP? What do they call this? The NYSC now has become a place, in fact, where we also expend. If you know how much we also expend in NYSC program, but if government can even turn that NYSC program to a skill acquisition period where the corpers or whatever can learn some skills for maybe 3 months and so on, the money they will pay them for wasting 12 months in what they call it, primary assignment or whatever, can be converted and used to equip them for them to start up life. Because the truth about it is that Nigeria does not have that to absorb those who the labor force, that is the unemployed. Every year the number of unemployed are going higher. So what I'm saying in essence is that the private school should be there, government run schools should also be there, but well funded. It's not I don't know if government withdraws itself from subsidy, withdraws itself from education, withdraws itself from here and there. So the money that they have, what are they using it for?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that contribution. We appreciate that. And there's something on the headlines of the Punch newspaper this morning that caught my attention, and it's about the recent warnings on flooding on 20 states. And it stated that 20 states at risk despite 620 billion naira intervention. And coming to you, Mr. Onyi, 620 billion naira is a huge sum of money that have been released by the presidency to see how to reduce the impact or the effect of floods. And at this point, 20 states are still at risk of people losing their properties, people losing their lives, and a whole lot of things here in Nigeria. What is your take on that?
Well, you can do just very little about nature, but when you are serious, nature will also respect you. So most of these things we are talking about is not necessarily about the money the federal government is releasing. What are the governors doing? Some houses were built on waterways. Let's even start with those things. Are you clearing a channel for this? Because this is flood. It's looking for a way of passage, just a passage. So if you direct it, one good thing I like Babio did when he was governor in Akwa Ibom was that he built one tunnel inside Uyo that took water from central to somewhere. I mean, governors should get.
A lot.
They know what to do. You get rain will still fall. You can't stop rain from falling. These governors know what to do, but some of them have refused to do it because it is cost very, very intense in financing. It's very expensive to do. But if they are serious, they can. Before, Lokoja used to be flooded. Now there is a stuff that stops the water. It's clear now. So they should also follow suit and the states that are affected, because most times they are joint states. They are not, they can come together and decide for an architectural design to help control the menace. So many of our major rivers like the Niger and Benue need to be dredged. When you dredge those rivers, it can take in more water. Yeah. Because it's when the rivers and the overflow of it. Do you understand what happened in Asaba? If the river Niger was well dredged in details, the water would be in the river. But I mean, we are just all watching. It will happen again next year. If you like, spend 620 billion. If the right thing is not done next year, it will happen again, and we'll still discuss it in the studio.
Just to add to what he said, the release of the money, what was it meant for? Was it utilized for the purpose it was meant for? And now, there's something that is important. Before you made such huge release, what okay, I'm almost repeating myself. What were the things you wanted to put in place using that? Because for you to want to deal with this matter, you deal with extreme situation. That is, you plan it as though the worst is going to happen, even though the worst is not going to happen, so that no matter what happens, whatever occurrence will be something that is manageable. You understand?
Damage, minimal damage.
The damage will be minimal. So what did, because it's not, when you say you release 500, that I can tell you painfully that there are monies that are being released for projects, that money is diverted. Somebody can decide to use the money to buy properties.
Comrade, I don't think the diversion is
no.
I'm 620 billion.
No, listen now. No, I'm coming. No, I'm coming.
You really think it's?
I think it is
billions of naira.
It is insignificant.
An naira today does not have value. But what I'm saying in essence is that the truth is that
insignificant to the control of flood. If you are sharing 620 billion to 20 states, how much will each state get?
So what do you think is a significant
I'm coming.
This state government should internally do a budget of this and work side by side with neighboring states. It's not just about 620 billion. This is just federal government's intervention, saying,
okay, this is our
help
support.
It's an intervention.
No, you don't.
It's not for any project.
As long as it has to do. What my major argument is that before government releases such money, there must be, you must have to say this is what you are going to, okay, you are going to build canals, you are going to build tunnels, you are going to build dams or whatever. You don't just release money. Because when you release, let me tell you, it's like whatever crisis in whatever sector now, and you don't check the cost effect analysis and you just release money. That money can be used for meetings. The presidential tax committee, whatever, they said they gave them what they used to they were given 1.5 billion for their work. You'll be asking now, what is the 1.5 billion for meeting? What were they going to use 1.5 billion to do? You understand? So it's the same thing. Before you release 500 or 600 and whatever billion,
obviously the government must have heard,
and it is not a must that money will be spread all the states. You look at the at risk.
No.
I'm coming.
We had the thing is clear. It's clear. They said 20 states. They gave 20 states. It was stated now.
Okay, now even if the money was given to 20 states, just like I said earlier, what was that money meant to be used for?
Intervention.
What is the direct? What is the intervention? Particular intervention that money is meant for?
I understand what Comrade Ifeanyi is actually where he is.
Were you trying to build dams with the 500 and something billion?
You must have stated, okay,
yes,
this is what we
this is the
want
specific
to do,
things,
and this is what it will cost, and then the government
this is the
now
effect. This is what at the end of the day, after this thing has been done, when was the money even released?
So what we are simply trying to say now is,
because if the money was released during this rainy season or at the start of rainy season, it does not mean anything.
What we are simply trying to say is our governors at this point needs to be.
Don't blame the no. Before the federal government, sir. Okay. See, I am an area council chairman.
Okay.
Before
of
a party.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we release monies to wards for any assignment, we call them, sit down with them, we discuss what we are going to do in these wards, and then what amount we want to use to do these things, and what we want to achieve with that money. You understand?
Yeah.
So I also become responsible. I bear the consequences if I don't release the funds.
Yeah.
And then they also bear the responsibility
if they don't use it
for the
you are mistaking this thing.
Comrade,
let me explain to you. Comrade, hold on. Let me explain to you.
Who was the money given to?
Comrade, it's just like your ward want to do ward parade. Let's say ward parade. And they come to you for intervention. You are not the one doing it for them. You are just intervening, saying, "Oh, you are doing this. Let me give you a little to assist you." It's intervention. It's not you paying for it.
Before I will give the intervention.
They already have their plan now. They will show you now.
No.
All right. Thank you so much for that contribution. In other words, we are simply calling on our politicians or those that hold public offices to be responsible for the lives of the citizens or the people that they look after. 20 states, it's now at risk of flooding. The governors of such states, which happen to be the head of security, and the responsibility falls on them to do something to ensure that what happened in the past months about the lives and properties that were lost does not repeat itself in that magnitude in the coming month or in this month. Thank you so much concerning that. And quickly, we just take a look at electricity, and this would be our last words. It said that 536 billion was being paid for electricity subsidy, and we still see that in some parts of the nation, most especially here in Abuja, the lights are not even still as constant as it should be, and there was still an hike in price for those that were in band A. So, what exactly is this subsidy now being paid for?
I think Onye will be the better
coming
person
to
to
you
answer
after
the
that.
question.
Comrade,
No, let him let him answer the
No,
question.
No, I want you to make
Well,
to make a comment on that.
the politics around the electricity, the power sector,
Okay.
is something we need to unbundle. You know, I always keep saying it that these things are hidden. We don't know. We don't know companies that are distributing. We don't know companies that are vending. These things are covered up. You know, so the regulatory commission saying that they are paying subsidy, they are the ones that know. We don't know because they are keeping these things to themselves until they open it up and allow business owners to get involved. Until they open it up and allow professionals to handle it. People can look. Let me tell you, the person handling Gariki may not be the person handling Wuse,
Yeah.
but they are still covering it. Government wants to be in charge, and anytime government is in charge of any business, this is how it goes. That's why we are complaining about public universities and private universities. It's the same thing. So it has come to power also. They don't want to let go, and because they don't want to let go, they are now telling us they are paying subsidy. I wasn't there when they paid the subsidy. I'm in band A, home and office. I pay extremely high to have electricity, and it's disturbing.
All right, quickly just give us your last words because of our time.
Last words on what?
Just what? Just your last words on what do you have to say to Nigerians out there? What do you think is pressing?
For the first time, I don't have any last words. Nigerians should be good. Nigerians should try their best. Just be good, and let's see what goes on. We will not totally lose faith in our country.
Yeah.
We don't have another, but the government needs to do better. I saw where you talked about insecurity. I thought we would have dealt on that today. Again, you know, the government needs to take a lot of responsibility to so many things happening. They can't wait for us to tell them they know. You know, when people keep screaming on TVs and radios, I just smile. I'm like, government knows this thing more than you do. They have more intel and intelligence over anything happening in the country. But they have refused to take responsibility. So we are pleading for those in power, those who want to come into power, those who have been in power before and they've left. All of them should just, for the first time, have mercy and pity the masses.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Ifeanyi.
Thank you. I just want to say that for the first time, can Nigerians take their destinies in their hands? See, we may pray for governments today, tomorrow, forever. Once we don't take responsive actions to call governments to question, to call them to account, we will continue to be at their mercy. I can tell you that this one of the things that make corrupt leadership to thrive is when the people are not united. In 2023, let me come back to a man called Peter.
We have just 30 seconds.
Okay.
Just your last words.
Yeah. So let us take our destinies in our hands and not stop putting it in the hands of people who don't care about our lives and our welfare.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Oni, for your time this morning, and thank you, Comrade Ifeanyi, for your time this morning. It was really nice having you in the studio this morning. Thank you so much. One thing is clear: Nigeria is at a crossroad. The political coalitions are gathering. ASU is knocking again. The cities are swelling, and people are watching. But beyond all the noise and promises, we must ask ourselves, when will leadership finally meet the needs of the people? Remember, it's not enough to just complain. We all have a part to play in shaping this country, whether through our votes or voices or our daily actions. Thank you for staying with us this morning. Stay safe, stay sharp, and don't forget, Nigeria belongs to all of us. Thank you for being part of today's show. Until we meet again, let's keep the fire of curiosity burning and let our words inspire change. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Somtochikol Okizu by name, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.